Hi and welcome back to another tutorial. I'm Rebecca and I like to share what I learn when I learn tricks with you to help you learn tricks. Several of my past tutorials were about simple tricks that you can do without even be able to bounce in standing. But then I got recently asked the question, but how do you get back from chest to feet? And that's what I want to tackle today. So we're gonna look at how to get from chest to feet, but also from feet to chest. Some people would call that a chest bounce. Other people say that a trick is always one bounce, so they call feet to chest a chest bounce, and then chest to feet is just called chest to feet. Before we look at the details of the tricks, let's quickly discuss the leash position. You have several options here. My preferred one is to have the leash ring behind me and the leash in between my feet, but for example you could also have the leash ring between your feet, and the main thing is just that the leash doesn't disturb you when you go back to feet. So just see what works for you. And even if your main motivation for learning chest to feet is to be able to go back to feet after a trick, I would recommend to learn the chest bounce, so going from feet to chest first, because then you have a cleaner starting position and probably also more bounce, so a better setup to go from chest to feet, and that will just make it a little bit easier to learn it initially, and then once you can do it well that way, you can also easily do it after a trick. Let's start by going down to chest then. If you're like me and you're a bit reluctant to just throw yourself on the line, you can train your line control and precision by trying some grabs first. For that, you want to grab the line quickly at the very top of the bounce, and then you immediately let go again. What's important here is that you do that by letting the line come towards you, by bending your knees more than you actively reaching for the line. What's also important is that your center of gravity stays above your legs, and note that this will be different for the actual chest bounce. If you feel ready for the chest bounce, you let the line come towards you by bending your knees, like with the grabs, and then you grab the line with both hands, this time a little more in front of you. At about the same time, you put the front foot next to the line, and then you slowly lay down on your chest. The back foot stays on the line the entire time, and you only do the major part of the movement, so everything from grabbing and putting down the foot, at the very top of the bounce, and then on the way down you lay down on your chest. That's the perfect position to get back up. At the beginning, maybe not in the next bounce, but whenever you're ready, here's how you do it. You lift your chest, you press out of your arms to shift the weight on your back foot. You then start pressing out of the back foot, you let go of the back hand, pull the front foot to the line. You then put the front foot on the line. At that point, you will already be half standing. You let go of the front hand and stand up all the way. Timing wise, you want to start the motion on the way up in the bounce to be able to put the second foot right after the top of the bounce. All of this will be easier the more bounce you have, because then it's easier to shift weight to your back foot and you don't really have to press out of it, because you will do that at an almost weightless moment. If you already do chongo mounts, probably the motion will come more natural to you. But chongo mounts usually strain the knee more than other mounts, and by using bounce, you will probably avoid that knee strain. So while it certainly helps to know them, it's not a prerequisite, and I didn't know how to do chongo mounts before I learned chest to feet. And a while later, I figured out that I actually now also know how to do chongo mounts, because I can do chest to feet, but I still never do them. Chest to feet is also quite a complex motion. There's a lot going on in a short amount of time, so it might take a while to make everything work together perfectly. The most common mistakes from my experience might be that you don't shift your weight to the back enough, and then you don't let go of your backhand soon enough. Maybe because it gives a sense of security to hold on to the line, but actually you want to stand up, so you need to let go of the hand to have the room to do that. One more detail about the foot position. So the standard test to feet would be to land with a straight front foot looking at the anchor, but you can also have a tilted front foot or even land in X-pose, so not even look at the anchor. Just do what comes easiest to you, and then when you're confident, you can challenge yourself and try a slightly different version. And that's all. Now you know how to get to chest and how to get back to feet. And when you can do that, you can also put it after tricks. And if you're looking, for example, for trick inspiration, you can have a look at my other videos. See you next time.